Happy Thursday, chat. Let me just make sure I got everything run here. Over on my stream platform. All right, everything's working. Let's go. That's the first time, right? Chat, you may be like, Emma, gouache painting again? And to that, I would say yes, because I don't know, guys, I'm kind of getting addicted to it. So we're doing another one. But this time I've included, you'll see up here, I've included the reference image. So you guys will be able to look at what I'm seeing. Because I was like, I'm trying to think, like last time I was like, I kind of felt bad. You guys couldn't really see the reference. And I just showed it on my phone once. But it's kind of nice when you can actually see what I'm looking at and then what I end up choosing to paint. So obviously the ratio of the paper to the reference is a little bit different. So I'm thinking what we're gonna do is like this rock over in this section, guys, we're just gonna move it slightly over that way because this like portion of it I really like. And I don't want to change. Like that's kind of like our focal point, you know? So we're just going to make a little adjustment on this side to fit. Because it's a lot longer of a picture, like wider. But this paper is much, it's a little bit taller. I mean, what we could do, chat, is cut down the paper, but I really don't want to do that. I think this is a, I don't have a measuring tape with me right now. I think this is just like a, I want to say an 8x10. I think that's why I cut it in. I tried to cut my pieces of paper into like standard sizes, so when I buy frames for them, it's easier. Also, chat, let me know if music gets too loud. So yeah, that's what we got. Now let me pull up the reference for me to see. For some reason I opened two of them. All right, this is good. All right, so we need a sketch. And so where am I? Oh yeah, here they are. So we got to do a sketch. We need to find a really light pencil to get started with. I'm thinking this is my lightest one, I think. I accidentally dropped the case and yeah, things kind of fell out. Hold up, guys. I'm having some issues with... Oh no, it's working, it's working. I thought something was broken. All right, first off, hello Mustard, welcome to chat. Velvet, welcome back. The music volume's good. All right, thank you. Mustard, I think it's the first time I've seen you. I think you're from Joe's community, right? I want to give you a welcome from Joe's community. I appreciate you coming over to this side of the arts world. Because, you know, Joe's in the arts too. Music is art. Today, we're going to be painting this reference up here. I took this in Bermuda. And we're going to see what we can do in just one stream now. And maybe we finish it tomorrow. I doubt I'm going to finish it today, but we'll see what we can do in just one stream. That's what we're going to do. I'm trying to decide. The paper texture is... I like it better on this side. I think we're going to use this side here, chat. All right, let me straighten out the paper here. Waltz Tango, hello, or Waltzy. Welcome back. We're doing a gouache painting again. I'm getting addicted to doing gouache paintings, so that's kind of where we're at. Chat, looks like my camera is crooked. Everyone hold on. Things are about to move a little bit. Nobody gets seasick. I just like... There we go. I like it when things look straight. We're just gonna tap that down there. I hope everyone's having a good Thursday, though. Chat, how do I want to start this? I think I'm gonna be really loose with it. I think I always get a little anxious when I have to start sketching, you know? So I think the best thing we can do is just kind of loosely mass in what we're looking for here. I think I'm gonna ask myself, like, how much of where the land kind of like comes out in the reference, like how far do we want that to be? I'm feeling like I actually wanted to go further than halfway. But I'm not 100% certain on that one. But I have some downtime since it's nap time for the little ones and I'm working on my nails. Yo, let's go! Recently, my cousin and me, I kind of like had the idea, but she like definitely supports it. But I want to try getting into like painting like acrylic nails, but I have absolutely no idea what to do. So I need to start looking for YouTube channels to learn. But like, I feel like that would be really fun to do. I need to do my nails, guys. I'm like, I like really like, I honestly look up to people who do theirs. Cause like it takes a lot of time, but it looks so nice. And it's like fun, cause then whenever you look at your hands, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Like I need to do that. That's what I've started doing recently. When my son starts school, I want to go to nail school. Yo, that's awesome. Okay, then maybe you'll be able to give me some advice once I get started. The hard part is like I need to make some money before I can invest in a new hobby. So I'm trying to keep myself from going too crazy with it. All right, guys, this little rock that kind of like juts upward, I think that's gonna be an important part of this painting. But I'm trying to figure out how much of that do I want? How much do I want that sticky? I think this would be about where that one rock starts. Just kind of mass in this area because they almost get like a big triangle shape. Shadow here. We're not gonna 100% perfectly copy this reference because that would be a literal nightmare, you know? I sank all my birthday money from my grandma into nail stuff this year. Yo, let's go. That was a good idea. Yeah, maybe I should wait till my birthday comes around. That's actually really smart. That's a good idea. Maybe that's the strat for me. All right, so this rock kind of comes into this inlet here. Also, I'm loving this like shadow area that's gonna be in here. Like these are gonna be really interesting shapes. So I just kind of want to mark those out. Not 100% perfect, but I think we're just gonna do our darndest. And then we get another shadow area in here, which is actually lower. Oh, chat, I forgot my eraser. No. Let's see if I have one in here. So I did have an eraser. No, I don't. Oh, chat, I'm so lazy today. I really don't want to get up, but I'm gonna have to. All right, we'll keep sketching and then we'll get the eraser later. We'll do that later. I just have to remember to erase out those parts. All right, so this rock actually comes up a little bit. Also, you may notice that the water line is lower. I didn't like that the water, like on the horizon line there, comes up too... It comes up too far in my opinion. I wanted it a little bit lower. We can't go too low though, because I don't want to divide the painting in half, but I think just a little bit lower is a good place for it. We're definitely gonna have a lot of different value shifts here in our lighting. We kind of get a little hill here. This shadow, this rock. I'm also gonna do something that I usually do when I paint digitally, and that's kind of like paint out shapes as I use the paints rather than relying too much on the sketch. So we're gonna end up reworking a lot of this, but I just want to have like the base masses in here, you know? I think I may have made this a little too big. This rock kind of reminds me of like a sundial. Back here a little bit more. All right, so we also have a little bit of like rock that comes out on this side, which I like, which I think will help give it some balance. And we got some little like little tree thingies. Not really trees, because they're little sticks. They're more like shrubs. I don't know. Something like that. We're gonna stick those in too, just to give it a little, you know, fill it out. And then this is fun. This kind of gives us a good idea that like we're standing closer to where this stick is, because it's gonna come up a much further and above the horizon line there. Guten Abend. Hey Gecko, welcome. We're doing another gouache painting. I didn't know we were doing another one until about like 20 minutes before stream. I was like, what do I want to stream today? I have no clue. And I was like, well, why not paint again? Again, we're shortening this up, so we are changing how this looks compared to the reference, but I think that's gonna be all right. Kind of like that it tightens it up a little bit. Oh, wie cool, ein neues Bild, ein neues Abenteuer, yeah, new adventure, literally. Adventures in the painting struggles of gouache for me. Because we're still figuring this out, guys. Actually, I think I should have put this lower. So I left my eraser over my other desk, and I need to erase some spots on this sketch, but I'm too lazy to go do it. This actually needs to be curved more like that. It's kind of like this little pine. I don't know if it's gonna be a pine tree when it gets big, but it has these little like long, wispy, these long kind of wispy things. All right, so I'm liking what we got going here. This rock kind of comes up, down, and up, and down. And that kind of washes in there. Back here, I really love the rock like texture there. It was just so cool. It looked very like volcanic. I also love the way the grass is kind of like softly blanketing over the top, but then you get like that contrast between like the sharp, jagged rocks and then like the smooth blanketing of the grass. All right, we have these like little shrubby trees back here before we get into the more pine-ish ones here, which I may thin them out a little bit. I haven't decided how I want to attack that issue yet. We're also getting some branches in here, and there's a little shrub in front of this dark spot here. I'm not sure if I want to add him in. It might get a little bit confusing if I do. Let's add a little grass in here. And this little shelves of grass here. I think we're gonna have to get really painterly with this one, because I could just like break my brain trying to get all these little details in, but I'm not sure that's a strat that we should do. I think maybe what we need to do with this painting is kind of let these organic shapes have whatever they turn into be, rather than forcing them into exactly what the reference is showing me. I think that's probably gonna be the strat, so I don't end up going insane. We're gonna approach this like kind of like impressionistic style art. I've noticed that, you know, they don't paint in everything if it's not important, and it doesn't look 100% like the reference, and that's literally okay. Because, you know, like as the artist, we get to choose, you know, how much of what we saw we really want to incorporate into the painting. And so we're just being a little selective with what we're doing. The wind was kind of like blowing everything this way. So we kind of have to keep, I want to keep that energy in the branches. Ich bin sehr gespannt, wie du die Wellen malen wirst. Sie sehen schwierig aus. I'm curious to see how you'll paint the waves. They look difficult. Gecko, I'll be honest. I'm also curious how I'm going to paint the waves. I really don't know yet. If I'm being honest, I'm also curious. That's partially why I chose this reference. So we're gonna see what happens. This is gonna be interesting. Now I am worried about like everything feeling a little tight compared to the reference, but I think because this section in here is going to be like well lit, and then this will be in shadow, I think it'll be okay. We don't have to worry about it being too tight because the lighting will do a lot of the work. I'm hoping that's how it'll be. I'm hoping we're gonna see. We may have to do some readjusting, but that's the beauty of Gouache, I'm finding out. OMG, good luck. Thank you, Mustard. All right, chat. It is time for me to get up and get my eraser. I need to stop procrastinating and get it. So I'm gonna be right back. Should take me like 5 seconds. All right, I'm back. All right, guys. Oh, you know what else I should have gotten? Was a, well, I can do it with this. I can do it with this palette. I should have gotten a measuring tape, not measuring tape, a ruler, because I want to make sure that the horizon line is perfectly horizontal compared to the vertical line on the side. But this palette has a straight edge, so we're just gonna use this as our, it's our little thinger here. Let's see. Because once again, I don't feel like... Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this from the top down. Bear with me, guys. Because it's important that this line is straight. So we just have to line up. I really, really should just go get my ruler. Chat, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna grab my ruler. I'll show you how much easier it'll be with a ruler. I gotta stop. Alright, I got the ruler, guys. This is gonna help. Die Stimmung in diesem Foto ist sehr interessant. Es ist zugleich still und voller Bewegung. Nachdenklich und fröhlich. Hell und dunkel. Man kann so viel interpretieren. Oh my word, I can't pronounce that last one. Interpretieren. There we go, I did it, guys. Yeah, no, this photo is very interesting. There is honestly a lot of movement in it, especially like if you look close at the trees. There was a pretty strong breeze coming off the water, really blowing. I'm wondering if we can capture that. And then true, like there's really like there's warm like bright spots and there's dark spots. There's good contrast in this one, which when I was looking for another photo reference after doing the lighthouse, which had terrible lighting, I was like, shoot guys, I cannot choose another reference that's like that sucks. So I'm trying to do better with finding one with interesting lighting. Hopefully we pulled that off with this one. All right, so we're gonna use this ruler here. Let's make sure that's lined up straight. I think this is where I want the horizon line to be. That looks pretty good. Another thing I could do is use the top. Just to double check. Guys, I have to like really lean over this to see, so my head's gonna be momentarily blocking the screen. I think we have it about right. Actually, I think I'm gonna put it down just a little bit lower. About there. Had it a little bit high. You know, guys, I'm a little upset that it's not quite the same ratio as the reference. I'm wondering if I should like actually kind of shrink back this section so it doesn't come out quite as far. I know I didn't want it like in the middle, but it's also not quite, it's not giving the feeling I want it to give just yet. And I want to solve those problems before we continue to go along with this, you know? I think we can we can sketch our shadows in a little bit. This rock actually doesn't stick out that much. No, I think that, is it sharper angle that? No, that's actually about right. But it kind of like arcs over. Yo, this is off topic, chat, but I saw like pictures from the eclipse. I think you could see it like in Europe, maybe? I forget where exactly all the locations were, but I saw people who had like shadows that were cast from like certain things, and it made like crescent moon shapes in the shadows. I was like, that is so freaking cool. Yeah, I was like really enjoying seeing people's pictures of that. All right, I'm gonna finish the bottom part of this rock. It's pretty steep. You definitely don't want to slip on these rocks, that's for sure. Alright, we got some waves jumping up here. And then this little branch over here. I needed to correct that. And then there was something over here I didn't like in my sketch, wasn't there? What was that, chat? Did I put the shadow up too far? I don't think so. It's kind of dark, and then we got a break. We got a little light here. Shade this in here. Ich finde, zu diesem Foto könnte man ein Poem schreiben. Magst du Gedichte? I like poems, but I really haven't read too many. My brother Joe really likes poems, though. I feel like I need more poems in my life. Do you have any like recommendations? Maybe some German ones. That would be good practice. I think I've read a couple German poems. But those are like really, they're usually hard to read. I was in the path of the total eclipse in 2024. It was so cool. One of the neatest experiences. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. I remember, I forget what year it was. There was an eclipse that went over where we were, and it was really neat. I was like, man, this is so cool. Wie geht es da genau wie dir? Ich kann auch nicht viele. Ich kenne auch nicht viele, aber ich mag sie. Sorry, Gecko, my German's busted today. I need to practice more. Yeah, you guys have any poems you recommend? Let me know. And I'll check them out. So I feel like I kind of want to learn how to like write songs, and I know like poetry and like writing poems is kind of similar. So I'm like, I kind of want to do a little study. So maybe if I read some poems, I'll get inspired. What my brother Joe likes to do is he likes to write like music pieces based around poems. Alright, chat. I'm tired of sketching. Let's just jump into the paints and see what happens. We're gonna try and do some sketching with our paints. That's how I prefer to work. Because I don't like to sketch too long. At some point, guys, I have to reorganize these pencils because I half dropped them earlier and now they're kind of out of order. Potential rape. That's another day's problem. Alright, I don't need my eraser. Alright, let's tack this down. Make sure you guys can see the whole painting. Okay, I feel like we need to redraw this line I have here on the side. It's a good thing I have my handy dandy ruler out right now. What if I use ink? I'm gonna use this. This is pretty much a Sharpie. Boom. There we go. It's just easier to line up. Alright, so we're gonna need... what are we gonna need? 1, to properly tack this down. Then 2, we're gonna need paints. How's that, guys? Maybe I'll bring it up a little bit more. Make sure you guys can see all of it. This time, try not to staple the paper like I did before. Yeah. This is literally a game changer for me, guys. Using this cork board and these little football helmet. Yeah. I want to get like cute ones though, because I don't really like football. Not really into it. Not my cup of tea. But like, what if we got cute ones? Like maybe some ducks. Or I did see panda ones on Amazon. I was like, kind of tempted. Not gonna lie. Alright, brushes, we'll put there. Water. Try not to dump it. Get our water. If we don't dump water at some point, it's gonna be a miracle. Yeah, this seems good. This seems good. Alright. Game plan. We need a game plan. Game plan is fill in base lighting. I think I want to just try and capture the vibes, but I don't want to go too crazy with it. This is gonna be hard. Chat, let's clean our palette too, actually. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a fresh start. Some of this is a bit messy. I don't like to waste paint, but sometimes you're setting yourself up for failure when your palette's like all muddied colors. So I don't really want to do that. So I'm just gonna make 2 clean spots here so we can get started. I really need to clean this rag I've been using. It has so much paint on it and it's like stiff. Guys, you don't think about it until you're using it and you're like, you know, I really should get a clean one. But I definitely prefer doing this than to using like paper towels, which I won't lie, paper towels are superior, but like you go through so many and it just feels really wasteful. So I kind of like anything that I can reuse. Looks like we got some blue paint stuck in here. Alrighty. And we're just gonna have to be brave. That's what we took away from yesterday's painting, that we need to be more bold. So maybe even after we block in with some very light shades, maybe we just go in with thicker paint. Maybe that's part of the strat. Yeah, I gotta be not timid. All right, we can use this worm here. I'm feeling like this is actually pretty close to what I'm gonna need for this section. I'm just gonna cover all this. The reference. The light even hits a little bit into this section. I'm just gonna add some of this more orangey. Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, we're just gonna give us a light wash. I just want to get things coated soon. I probably should have went through and erased some of that sketch. We're gonna see what happens. Okay, the camera is making this look like it's like super bright, but it's really not that. It's really not that bright. This looks a lot more dulled down to my eyes. I do need to figure out how to balance my camera a little bit better so it's a little bit more accurate to how I'm seeing it, so you guys know what I'm looking at. Guess that's another Dej problem. All right, we're gonna use some. Chat, I know we're gonna use like cool purples, I'm feeling, because that would be a lovely like contrast to these orangey shades. But I'm actually gonna do just like a dark red to start. We're gonna build off of that, just because I want to keep actually like kind of like an underpainting vibe of warmth to this whole scene. Oh, chat, you know what? I wanted to erase this section out here. I didn't actually want that rock. There we go. There we go. Make sure we get down to these corners. Ich war schon so lange nicht mehr am Meer. Echt schade. It's been a long time since I was last by the sea. Quite sad. I know, the ocean is like the best place. Yeah, I think I said this before, but like if I wasn't afraid of like hurricanes and stuff, I think I would want to live near the coast. There's just something about the ocean, you know? It's like good vibes. But I like it when the ocean's more calm. Because like low key, if the waves are like too crazy, even just sitting and watching it will stress me out. Like, I don't know why I'm like this, but I am. Alright, so for the blues, I'm thinking we're gonna grab this here. Let's try and get this darkened up a little bit. We don't want to go too crazy. We might have to straighten out that line later. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit of this lighter blue. And then I'm actually gonna add, feeling like a little green. Because it is almost like a green blue. Because that's kind of nice. Kind of get that blend into here. Alright guys, I'm going to get to you in a second. But I got to work while the paint's a little bit wet here. Sorry, chat. Do, 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 do. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's just try and clean up this edge a little bit here. And just a little bit back here. There we go. Unless you're in Galveston, Texas, the scent of a refinery can be something. Oh no. Sometimes my younger sister, because she lives in Texas, they'll sometimes go to Galveston. That's like their closest beach for them. I don't remember her ever mentioning that, and now I'm gonna ask her about it. Like, that doesn't sound that pleasant. Alright, we're gonna get like a pink shade up here, and then it actually will get a little bit purple because it works its way down. And then let's get some clean yellow, because I want to mix a little yellow into that skyline. But I don't want to use the yellow I have because it has too much green in it. It may have improved, but it is a lasting impression. That's hilarious. Yeah, I can imagine that would be... Oh my gosh, this is stuck. That would be memorable. Alright, we need to mix... Where's my palette knife, chat? We need to mix some of this yellow here. Let me pull it out. It's a bit separated. Let's just mix that a little bit. I should probably add a little more of the liquid to it. But again, it's not on my desk here, which means I'm not about to go run over to get it. Where should I stick this, chat? Do here, here, here. I'm not committed to this. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it on my palette knife because it's such a mess down there. There we go. Let's grab this clean brush since we haven't messed up anything yet. Pretty sure this is how you're not supposed to do it. I don't think anyone's ever mixed their paints on a palette knife, but you know, sometimes you gotta be the first person to do things. That's how trends start, right? Alright, now we're gonna work a little bit of very, very, very light blue into the sky. Because it's really not that blue in the sky. And it's gonna turn a little bit green, but I think that's gonna be alright. I kind of like this blend of colors we're getting in here. It's okay if it washes with some of those trees. We'll bring those back later. Not gonna worry about those too much. I really want the skyline to be how I want it to be. All right, for the lower section, we almost need like a purpley shade here, but a subtle one. So we're gonna need more water. Yeah, there we go. A little too much pigment, so I just tap off my brush and then blend it as we go. All right, that's probably good. We'll leave that for now. Again, gouache paints are gonna let us layer a lot, which is gonna be really nice. All right, we need to establish some darks, because how are we gonna know how dark we need to make? Like, let's see if I can show you guys. Like, see how dark this rock is? But this rock is technically a little bit lighter than what's gonna be in this like little crevice area down here. So I'm thinking like our darkest darks are gonna be around in that crevice and also up. I'm gonna make the like this section probably have the darkest shadows because I want our eye to be drawn there. In the reference, it's really dark here, but I'm not gonna do that because anywhere you're gonna have your really dark darks next to anything that's lighter is going to be where your eye is drawn to. And so we have this lovely highlight area that I want people to be looking at. And so I'm gonna put my darkest shadows with those. So that's what I'm thinking. Macht dir das Malen mit Wasserfarben und Pinsel momentan mehr Spaß als das Malen am Computer? Yeah, honestly, I'm like some reason, guys, I'm in like a real painting mood. But I do love to paint digitally still. But doing that last painting on stream, I was like, shoot, I kind of missed this. So that's I think that's I'm just like I go through like spells, you know? I think it's because I've been working on the children's book recently and it's all digital and I'm really just tired of doing color fills and layers. Sometimes I just want things to get messy and I just want to make mistakes and I just want to see what happens. And working on the computer kind of like it has too many like features that you can backtrack after making mistakes, so I kind of like that. Hi Emma, yo Olivia, how you doing? We are painting from this reference that I took, and we are working on now establishing some dark areas. But yeah, that's a long answer, Gecko, but I feel like at the moment I am enjoying painting with real paints a lot more. It's kind of a nice change of pace. You go through spells, you know? Yeah, shading my worst enemy, literally. Also, welcome to chat, a messenger of the city. I think, can I just call you messenger or a messenger? Welcome. I'm thinking I'm gonna add a little more red in with this here. All right, so our darkest shadows in this area, kind of in here, kind of like this. All right, I'll call you a messenger then. But welcome to this gouache stream. I'm on my gouache painting arc. Bob Ross's joy of digital painting is a bit of a cognitive dissonance. Oh, speaking of Bob Ross, guys, I think they might do it this weekend too. But last weekend there was a like a all weekend stream on YouTube where they were just running episodes that you could watch. So I don't know if anybody's interested in that. They may be doing it again this weekend. I hope they do. It's kind of nice to just put on and watch, you know? Bob Ross is so chill. Anytime I start to like panic while I'm painting, I try to channel my inner Bob Ross and calm down. Because there do be times where I start to get a little stressed out. Kind of like now, I feel like I'm like, oh, am I starting this painting right? You know, you start to have doubts, but you just gotta keep going. Especially when it comes to landscapes, it's like there's no reason to panic because it's really gonna be however you want it to be. You know, I want to see the videos of capybaras painting. Aw, yo, capybaras are so cute. Should we paint one of those? That'd be kind of cute. Guys, I wish that like regular people could own penguins because I really like ducks. I'm like, it would be so fun to have like, they're pretty much ice ducks when you think about it. Like, I wouldn't mind having an ice duck. But I don't think a penguin would be very happy with this weather, you know? It probably gets too hot here for them, and we wouldn't have the fish to feed them. This might be the most calming stream I've been on in a while. Well, I'm happy to hear that. I hope that I can stay calm while I paint this. Sometimes I start to panic, chat, but we're gonna try and keep it calm. Try and keep those vibes chill. Real penguins are adorable. They literally are. Like, guys, I need penguins in my life. I need penguins. I like seals. Seals are cute. I really like sea turtles. Chat, we made the water way too dark, I think. But this is gouache, so we don't have to worry. We're just gonna paint the ocean lighter in a bit, which is fine because we have to paint the ocean again anyway to kind of blend those colors. So I think it's gonna be all right. I'm kind of using this dark shade to draw as well as paint at this point. I'm kind of like mapping out some shadow areas. I'm gonna just go a little bit cooler, I think, with their colors here. Just a wee bit cooler. There we go. Okay, other than like house pets, guys, like what's your favorite animal? I feel like I would say ducks, but then I know some people have those as house pets. So maybe I'd say, oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. I really like you know what? Elephants. Oh, you like sharks? Okay, I'm a little scared of sharks. I'm not gonna lie. But they are pretty cool, and there's so many different types of sharks. And I know that like most sharks won't even hurt you. I always have to remember that. But I'm still scared. I like when people make like chibi art of their favorite animals. I think that's great. Capybara, the most chill animal I've ever seen. Literally, they're just living that like sauna life, chilling in their hot tubs. Well, when I was 3, I decided that I wanted to be a shark for Halloween. That's amazing. They've been my favorite since. Yo, that's awesome. You're scared of sharks, but they're so nice. I am scared of sharks. But to be fair, I'm scared of like pretty much anything in the ocean. So I don't know if it's actually just sharks that I'm scared of, and maybe it's just literally everything. I think it's because I can't like I can swim, guys, but I'm not like an amazing swimmer. You know? Oh, you like orcas? Nice. I'm not an amazing swimmer, so maybe I'm like, if that shark decided it didn't like me, I definitely couldn't outswim it. So I feel like there's always that fear factor. Yeah, but sea turtles, love sea turtles. I pretty much like any turtle. But I have to say I'm a little scared of like snapping turtles. But I think it's good to be a little scared of snapping turtles, right? Also, what happened to music, chat? All right, we gotta run it back. The playlist ended. Because snapping turtles can be a little dangerous. But they're pretty cool. I saw one once when I was, I used to run. And it's pretty much like back roads around where I live. And there's like a stream and a pond down the road. And I kid you not, I saw a snapper that like, it would have been like, if I sat it here on this painting, it would have been like this big. Probably even bigger, like its shell, you know? Like it would have taken up this whole space. He was huge, he or she. And it was really cool. I'll have to show you guys a picture of it sometime. I made sure to keep my distance though, because he was on the side of the road and I was like, bro, you need to get off the road. But it did not want to move, so I did not push it. I was like, I suggested it moved on, and then when I came back, it was gone. So I think it was like, oh shoot, there's people out here. I can't be out here, and it moved back into the bushes. I'm like, you do not want to get hit by a car. All right, we need to get a little braver with this. We're too timid right here. All right, we gotta get brave. All right, Emma, I'm gonna be brave. We need to like get a lot of paint on the canvas. Not really a canvas, but paper. We need to do it now. Sending my VF this stream so more people know you because your art is amazing. Yo, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, so we can't let a messenger down then, guys. We gotta turn this painting around. I don't really know what I want to do yet. Let's do the midtones. Yeah, let's do the midtones since we did some darker ones. All right, so foreground, then background, or background, then foreground. I think I'm gonna do foreground because it's darker. And then I'm gonna move upwards towards a lighter question mark. We're gonna see. All right, so we're gonna need some warmer shades here. So let's make some warm. A little of this, a little of that. Bada bing, bada boom. 2 brown, a little more blue. Oh, that seems good. What do you think, chat? It's pretty watered down, so I think it's gonna dry. It's gonna dry all right. Yeah, we're just gonna wash over this here. And I just have to keep reminding myself that if I lose some highlights, I just paint them back in because we can actually do that with gouache. Also, chat, something funny. Yesterday, I was talking to my younger sister, and she's like, "Oh, I missed your stream yesterday, sorry." And she's like, "What were you doing?" And I was like, "I was painting some like gouache, doing some gouache paintings." I know this song, but I do not remember what game this is from. Minecraft? This is one of Joe's songs. This is I Miss You, the Minecraft Cherry Blossom Forest theme song. I really love this one. This is the one I did the Reggie sitting under the cherry blossom tree cover art for. Yeah, this one is good. How about the previous one? Okay, the previous one was the Ender, which is also one of his Minecraft themed ones. Yeah, I like the Ender too. It's got good vibes to it, you know? It's got like a catchy melody. All right, where is my hairbrush? Okay, here's the reference. And we're gonna go a little into here. Now we need to lighten it up, so we're gonna pull out some more reds. Some more of this orangey color. And we're just gonna get in there. I'm gonna make this oranger than the reference, chat. Let's just do it. We're gonna full send it with some color. I gotta stop being timid. We're gonna exaggerate what we have and see what we can create. I do think we need to address the ocean problem here. It does not look light enough, which is kind of sad. This is a testament to how good Joe is, literally. Yeah, I love all his music. That's why I put it on for stream. I'm like, I need him to upload more of his tracks. All right, we also got a little bit of green in here, so you know what? We're just gonna put that in. A little bit of green, a little bit of brown, a little bit more green. Up in here. And then we actually kind of like, it gets browner down in this section. And then these like trees down here, they're almost like red in tone in the shaded areas, which is kind of pretty. It was like, I mean, I don't think they have like a season where everything dies in Bermuda, like a fall season, but this was November, so it wasn't like peak summer, you know what I mean? We gotta remove this. This looks questionable, guys. This looks like, Emma, what are you doing? And chat, you would be right to ask that, because Emma, what am I doing? What I'm doing is blocking everything in with really loose colors because I get really intimidated by a blank canvas. And so I'm just trying to get rid of the blank spots by like massing in some of these sections. We also want to get rid of any of the spots that look too kind of like too bright. I think we need to darken all this down more. All right, we're gonna get bold now. I know I said that last time, but it's time for a shirt chat. Oh yeah, let's get darker in here. I think the key to getting the texture on these rocks is gonna be layering. We're just gonna have to keep layering to get the different value shifts. That's gonna be important. It's gonna take time to build it up, but I think it's gonna be worth the wait, hopefully. We'll find out, right? Make it a little bit darker in there. I do want to try and capture like the strata question mark. Pretty much the lines of the rock. Strata. I think that's how you pronounce it. Just a little darker in here. The paint does get lighter as it dries, so maybe I need to be a little bit braver with darkening these sections. This is gonna be interesting, chat. I literally don't know how this is gonna turn out. So I'm gonna make it a little bit darker over here. And a little bit over here. You know, I think actually I can come down and up. And I'm gonna mix a little bit more. Just in with it. There we go. Alright, maybe we should address the ocean. What y'all think? We gotta make it a little bit lighter. I think layering is so important across disciplines. Art, makeup, bulk soap purchases, etc. Oh my gosh, that's funny. It is important though. Just gotta keep going. Alright, so for the water, I think we need to get like... I think I need to bust out my paints that aren't dried up. I think that's what we gotta do because I really wanna start putting these colors in a little bit more thick. Let's pull up some of this white here. Das wird bestimmt richtig gut, aber es sieht noch viel Arbeit aus. I'm sure they'll turn out really well, but it looks like a lot of work. Yeah, this one's gonna be a lot. I probably should have given that a little more forethought before we started. But here we are. We're doing it. So I don't know if this is a good painting choice or not, but we're committed at this point. This could be like a 3-stream. This could be a 3-stream paint project. Actually, we need more white here. All right, I'm just gonna get rid of this yellow. That's on my palette knife here. Hopefully this turns out. Worst case scenario, we finish it. I hide it somewhere in like my closet under like a box of some sort, and we never open it again. You know, that's always an option. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Because, you know, not every project turns out. And that's all right. And nobody has to see it. All right, this seems good. This will lighten us up a little bit, but not too much. Just hide this artwork from the world. It's a magic. It is kind of like magic. That's so true. Sometimes it feels a bit like magic because you're like, you don't really know 100% what you're doing, but you just keep going, and then suddenly you're like, wait a minute, that kind of looks like an ocean and some land. And then suddenly you got it. So, chat, I think it's still too dark. Yeah. And you know what? Chat, we need to darken the sky some more. Because look in the reference. Our lightest light, and this helps if you squint your eyes while you look at the reference, our lightest light is going to be that little bit of water that's hitting the rock in this section. And if you compare how bright that lightest spot is to the sky, well, actually, hold up. The sky is still, I want to say, I'd have to turn this black and white to truly tell, I think. But I think the sky is still darker than that spot, than that brightest highlight. I don't know. I'm not sure. Verschenkst du das Bild, wenn es fertig ist? Are you giving the picture away when you finish it? I'm really not sure. I haven't thought about that. You can also hide it framed on the walls of local travel agency. Hey, you're not wrong. I could do that. I could give it away though. That's also a good option. Chat, what was I doing? Was I painting the ocean? I think that's what I was doing. Oh, but I needed more white paint. Yeah, maybe I should just give this one away, guys. That way I don't have to look at it. Well, let's see how it turns out, because if it looks atrocious, I can't give it to anyone. We can't do that to somebody. I'm actually gonna darken a little bit of this down here. Lighten this up again a little bit more. But darken some of this section. Let's get rid of all these little white spots. I kind of wanted to make something to give to the lady who owned like the Airbnb we stayed at, because I noticed she had a lot of watercolor paintings. She also had oil paintings too, made by like local artists, and then also like gifted people who had gifted her artwork. That was all like scenery in Bermuda. So I was like, oh shoot, maybe she'd want one of my pieces. And she was so nice. I was like, that'd be kind of fun thing to do. So that's always an option, but I'm pretty sure shipping to Bermuda would cost an arm and a leg. So probably not gonna do that. But it was a thought. And I think it's alright if we have some like shading diversity here. Oops. Alright, we're gonna have to fix the horizon line at some point. I ended up moving the line just a bit. It happens. We're definitely gonna have to fix this, but I think I just wanted to coat it in blue, so it wasn't just like some white patch that was kind of like staring me in the eye. It's like, who to say the water didn't wash up there a little bit more, you know? Alright, this is looking good. Now let's make a slightly, I'm gonna say like turquoise, greenish color. So we're gonna need this blue, and then we're gonna need, I'll grab just a little of this green here. I'm liking the shade we have there. So I just want to add a little bit of that green back into here, you know? Not seeing too much of it, but I think subtlety is gonna be good. We'll worry more about the water later, but we lightened it up. Can't say I've painted water actually that much before, so this is gonna be really interesting. Alright, but the water does get a little darker down in this section. So the key is gonna be like, we're gonna try and paint the waves, but like, how do we paint them in a kind of abstract way that doesn't end up just breaking our brain, you know? And so I'm not 100% sure how we're gonna do that yet. But I think blocking in shadowed areas is probably a good start. Like in here. Because our paint's still a little bit wet, I think that's gonna be a good start. You know, actually, the water kind of comes like this, and there's a little rock here. We gotta reshape that little coastline section there. That seems good. And then, so we need to let's relayer these rocks. I feel like these are still really light, so let's try and get rid of those. All right, so let's see if we can mix. Let's see if we can not waste this paint here. I'm gonna mix like a yellow green shade here. Maybe a little bit more of this, like a dirty yellow here. Just trying to plant in a little bit of how our grass is gonna be. A little like that. A little up like this. A little down into here. So there's a little bit down in this section. And then it gets a little bit cooler, but also dark. As we get some greens in here. They will be lighter than this, but just kind of like plotting the position of the grass. I'm plotting, scheming even. Yeah, so they're gonna go right there. And then maybe put in some shaded sides to these little trees back here. Probably not too much. And then we actually get some green in here. Not crazy, but a little. This is looking very abstract at the moment. Kind of interesting, but I think that's a good sign. I feel like the way... Pull up chat. Let's make this darker. This needs darker. It's like way too bright at the moment. Let's go crazy with it. We can end up muting down that color later. Ooh, that does not belong there. Bro, my palette's getting so messy. I don't feel like trying to clean it up though, so. Alright, so maybe get some darker spots in here. Oh, that's a lot of red. Alright, well, we're doing it. Value is more important than color, especially at this point. Might be kind of interesting if our shaded area is pretty red. I just want it to get darker, you know? So we're just gonna do it. I don't like using too many boring colors, you know? This might make it interesting. Alright, let's grab some more red, because that was actually kind of pretty. We got some trees up here. Again, just trying to like imagine, like if the trees were simplified into some mass shapes, What really would that look like, you know? And then try and imagine. We need to lighten this one side of the rock up, actually. Of this one here, we need to deal with the details on that one at some point. Because I feel like this is an important rock. We're not giving it enough love and attention that it needs. Let's just reshape it here a little bit. And then we get a little shadow here. This is looking better. It's looking better. It's not quite where I want it to be yet. We have to get a good base going. We're close to having a good base. Just kind of using my imagination there on those rocks. Taking creative liberties. All right, let's bust out some slightly more orangey shades. Let's mix those in there. They're mid-tones. There we go. That's good. I like that. In here. And a little bit more. A little bit more yellow in this section. All right, let's clean our brush. Grab a little bit of yellow. Just gonna hit these edges here. Should be good. A little bit more yellow in here. A little bit more of that. These rocks are gonna rock. Yo, good pun. I hope they're gonna rock. At this point, they're not giving too much rock vibes. But we gotta manifest this. Chat, do we need rock music? We need Joe to make rock music for this. Painting rocks and listening to rock music. That could be interesting. I'm gonna add more yellow into these trees, I think. Yeah, let's warm this all up a little bit here. All right, now chat, let's think about the sky. I think we need to do something with that because it actually needs ever so slightly darker, but it's gonna be super subtle. It is. It's gonna be really subtle. All right, let's grab. This is what we used before. I kind of ran a line of this like peachy color right here because there is like a subtle like cloud line that we see. Right, and while that was wet, I then grabbed some, I think I grabbed some yellow, right? Blend that upward, try and keep our paintbrush clean. And then what I did, didn't I grab some blue, guys? I think I did. All right, that's better. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, now we need, I think we did some purple. I think I mixed this red with this blue. Ooh, maybe I used, was it this blue, chat? Oh, it was this one. Yeah, this blue makes a better purple. All right, here we go. Just a little darker. Alright, I can't remember 100%, but I think the sun was actually below the horizon at that point. I don't love this sharp line, so I'm just gonna soften it up. Hopefully it doesn't ruin our subtle little sunset here. Alright, we're gonna let that dry. Well, it got a little bit green there. Not a bad thing. Not terrible. Alright, we need some more highlights. Let me grab some white paint. Chat, am I gonna have to buy white paint soon? No, we got plenty. When his son is awake and captivated by the stream. Yo, that's great! Maybe someday he'll also get into art. May want to start painting. Alright guys. I'm having some doubts, some fears, and some worries. You know what that means? That means we're getting to the important part of the painting. I hope so, LOL. But it seems like you're like a really like artsy person, Waltzy, so I think there's a good chance. My mom's really like she doesn't paint, but she's like really crafty. And so I think that contributed to me being interested in it as well. So I used to I did like sewing for a hot minute. Oh, that needs to be a lot brighter. That needs to be a lot brighter, chat. I did sewing. I used to make jewelry. I still do sometimes as like gifts. But that kind of stuff, it's fun. It gets you thinking like creatively, you know? Alright, this looks really boring. We're gonna have to add some washes of color over this, but I'm trying to kind of reestablish some highlight areas in this painting. Bro, this needs some color in it, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can't do this, it needs color. I'm gonna add a little in here. And then there's some light peeking behind here as we work upwards. Shadow area. Get a rack here. And then up. Let's add a little more white paint. I think this is gonna work. Yo, why do these bots keep coming into my Twitch chat? Get out of here, bot. Sorry about that, guys. All right, back to the important things, which is real painting and creativity. We're working on this rock. I feel like these highlights, they're coming in. It's coming in slowly. I do lots of art / craft / design, but also enjoy video games. Yo, let's go. Yeah, I bet your son's gonna get into stuff like that too then. You'll be good inspiration. What type of games do you like to play? Alright, so this little rack gonna have little highlights in here. I feel like we're slowly getting our like layers in here, you know? Alright, let's mix some grass green. That's gonna be probably brighter than it needs to be, but that's okay. Because I have a tendency to work things too dark, so maybe if we go too bright, we can kind of reestablish some things here. Alright, grass runs down in this area. So we actually need to work on these trees, I think, a little bit, chat, because these trees are important. They're kind of showing us where the trees start here and how like the hill behind it is shaped. There we go. These little guys are actually pretty brown. They kind of like lost their leaves. I don't know what kind of trees they are. They're brown, but I'm gonna use red because I feel like it makes it a little bit more exciting. This is pretty dry paint right now, so it's giving us an interesting texture, and I don't hate it, so I think we're gonna roll with it. Gonna tap some of that into this area too. Cozy / survival / exploration games, Minecraft, Valheim, Power World, Terraria, Animal Crossing. I used to play more intense battle royale games, but today I don't really enjoy them as much. Yo, you have a good list of games you like to play. I like grew up playing Animal Crossing. Like, we've played all versions, me and my siblings. The game is so addicting. Yo, cozy games for the win. I don't know if you've ever played Stardew Valley, but I think you'd like that. That one's fun. Minecraft's like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, I know that like it can sometimes get boring, but it's really just because maybe you ran out of ideas. But there's really unlimited possibilities for what you can build in Minecraft. Unlimited power. Building power. My sister, my younger sister and me, we used to build so much on Minecraft. We would do like crazy big projects. We absolutely loved it. And we'd play like other servers and we'd collect ideas and inspirations from like other people's builds. We'd study their like architecture. We absolutely love doing that kind of stuff. Also, I feel like the fun part about Minecraft is like the exploration. Like too, like it's just fun. Like if you want to adventure, it's perfect. You want to build, it's perfect. I grew up in a strict no video game house. Oh, that's tough, but my husband introduced me to the world of gaming. Let's go. I've heard of Stardew Valley. Just haven't played it yet. I love Minecraft. I think you'd like Stardew Valley. Look it up on like YouTube, or I guess probably, I don't know if you use Steam or whatever to get your games. But they usually have like game trailers and I'll show you some of the gameplay. Stardew was so stressful. I had to use spreadsheets. Okay, to be fair, Velvet, though, it doesn't have to be stressful. Like you can take the game really seriously if you want, or you could just spend years just farming and taking care of your animals if you want. It's kind of like a farming / like crafting game. But it's also pixel art, so it's like super cute. But yeah, my younger sister, she played Stardew Valley a lot, and she was like kind of like the spreadsheets girl, where she was like trying to get everything done, like you're saying, Velvet. And after watching her play, I was like, I don't think I really finished the game. I barely like touched the surface compared to her. Like someday I need to like actually properly play Stardew Valley. But like, you know, the game's kind of like play it however you want. Yeah, Stardew was stressful. Very good game. I wish the day / night cycle was longer. That's so true. Yeah, Mustard. It is stressful at times. Also, guys, I keep shaking my camera because I keep bumping my desk. Yeah, look it up on Steam when the baby goes to bed tonight. We have some to save the gaming until after bedtime. Well, maybe your husband's played Stardew before. I'm sure he's probably familiar with it. I know the music's really popular too. But yeah, it's fun. And I think you can play multiplayer, right, guys? I think there's a multiplayer function, I'm pretty darn sure. So you guys could play it together. Alright, this little tree, kind of in here. Little branches. Oh, you think so? Okay. Yeah, don't quote us on it, but we think it's multiplayer, guys. I probably shouldn't start drawing branches so soon, but I'm so tempted to do it, I can't help it. Alright, this is looking better. I do think we need to deal with some of the rocks in the front again. Hot take, it still needs darker. All right, let's do this thing. Let's make it really, really dark in these dark areas. I'm gonna use blue. I'm gonna use a little green. Shoot, I keep kicking my paint across the palette. Oh yeah, there we go. See, the sketch doesn't mean that much anymore. That's why I feel like I was like, you know, I'm not gonna go crazy on the sketch because we're gonna end up losing it anyway. You know what I mean? Try and get the shapes of these little strata here to stay in place. You can play with at least 3 friends in Stardew. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. I have friends who play it, and I'm sure he has heard of it. We are excited for our son to be older so we can eventually introduce him to games. Yo, that'll be great. Yo, games, I have to say, I was really, really fortunate in the sense that my mom like let us play video games. I mean, she did, like, of course, like, it was like you can't play all day. But I think she liked would get a lot of like you know the older PC games that were a lot of like puzzle games. I think she was like looking for stuff that we could do that would kind of like make us use our brains to problem solve. And so she liked getting a lot of those games that we could play, which is why a lot of the Nintendo games were good, because those were hard. Yo, some of those like OG Nintendo games, super hard. Like, I don't think we ever beat the Super Mario Sunshine. I think that was for GameCube. I can't remember exactly. Es ist total interessant zu sehen, wie das Bild immer lebendiger wird. It's interesting to see how the image becomes increasingly lifelike. Thank you, Gecko. Yeah, I think it feels like it has some potential now. I was a little scared for a bit, but I think it's coming together. We could play a couple computer games like Sims, but only for like 30 minutes a day. And the loading screens took up half the time. It felt like, oh shoot. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, you guys remember having to we used to play I'm trying to remember what games it was exactly, because we used to play like Age of Empires, but we also played like Zoo Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and you'd have to like put in like more than one disc to get it going. And then there was like different discs if you needed like the upgraded versions. I'm like, we are so lucky these days. The gaming is so accessible. OMG, it's looking so pretty. Thank you, a messenger. Yeah, it's slowly coming together. I think we can do this, chat. We can do it. I believe. Actually, I don't know if I believe in myself. I'm just gonna try and manifest the faith you guys all have in me and see what we can do. It will be interesting at the end of painting this. I'm gonna try time-lapsing the kind of like time-lapsing the video stream and see how it looks, like seeing it come together like quickly. Would buy for 4 doubloons. Nice. Yo, chat, maybe I should start selling my I should start selling my paintings I do on stream. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm good enough. Let's see how this one turns out. If it turns out good, I think my confidence will be back. I haven't been painting with real paint since so long that I don't have the courage like I used to. I think we still have to go darker in this section. It's just never dark enough. All right, we did red before. Let's add some blue over top. Blue, 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 blue. You're good enough, even more. Oh, thank you, Velvet. I appreciate that. Let's add a little texture in here while we darken it. How can we make these rocks a little more interesting? I think we need to bring a little down here. And then these rocks kind of like shoot up this way. Right, and then we get like this little texture here. I was honestly like fascinated with the rocks. Like I just couldn't help but stare at them. And you think about like how the different like plates of stone like shifted, you know, through, I don't know, it was like a volcano used to be where the island is. You know, like how did it all come to be the way, like the shape it is? It's pretty darn cool. I did like 1 year in my last year in high school, or second to last year, where I studied for science that year. I did geology, and it was really, really interesting. So I'm like, yes, I will look at rocks. Not that I know that much, I don't know why I'm not fascinated by that kind of stuff. Let's make this darker in here. Even darker. We'll lighten it up later, but I think we gotta keep building it. Textures are amazing. And the BF that got recommended to this live stream. OMG, this is amazing. Yo, welcome, McSandwich. We're struggle busting our way through, but we're slowly making progress on these rocks. I feel like everyone's probably holding their breath, kind of like, is she gonna be able to pull this off? Because I really don't know if I'm gonna be able to. But I'm gonna try my best. But chat, we do have to be mindful. If I end up getting like too crazy with details, we may never finish this painting because there are a lot of details. So I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna do this here. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, hi, my BF. Thanks for coming to see Peak get drawn. Oh, speaking of Peak, has anyone played Peak? Sorry, this is off topic, but on topic because we're talking about games. I heard there was an update. I haven't played it yet, though. Me and my siblings like playing Peak. But I guess that would be spelled differently, right, guys? I'm dyslexic because it's like a mountain peak, not like a sneak peek. No, wait, that would be the same because peak is like the most. Yeah. Guys, I'm such a boomer. I'm boomer and I'm dyslexic. Oh my gosh. Double L's on that one. It's alright. It's not stopping me. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Yeah, these rocks need a little more defining down here. Just a little bit more. I feel like these rocks are important for the framing. It's gonna be more fun. I'm waiting to put it in, but like the little like sticks that are gonna come out here, I think those are gonna do nice, kind of like, you look at the painting and I want your eye to kind of like travel around in this section. But I feel like I was doing like how they open the doors in Doctor Strange or whatever, the portals. I used to paint a lot of landscapes a few years ago, but I stopped, and because of this, I might get back into it. Yo, let's go! What paint medium did you like to use? Yo, painting is fun, guys. It's a little stressful, but it's also fun. It's a little bit like Stardew Valley. You're having a good time, but it keeps you on your toes, you know? All right, this seems a little darker. These paints are actually layering really beautifully. I'm kind of liking this effect that we're getting. Let's see if we can... We gotta darken this up, but I don't want to go like... Can't go too dark. I don't know. And also requires spreadsheets. Yo, not wrong. Not wrong. Yo, spreadsheets. Yeah, what else requires a lot of spreadsheet is language learning. When I first started learning German, I had like a bazillion like printed out spreadsheets for conjugations, endings, genders, tenses, and I had them like all pasted all on my wall so I could reference them quickly. I can hear my grandpa playing the bagpipes, dude, not the vibe. Oh my gosh. Oil paint, it never dried fully though. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I've used oil paints before, but I use the water soluble oils so they dry faster. But like, bro, some of those like real oil paintings take like years sometimes to dry. It's crazy. I have a prepped canvas with outlines ready staring at me, and I can't take the plunge to start painting. Oh, okay. I feel like the only advice I have for that is like put some type of mark on the painting, even if it's like a light brush of color or the sketch. Like as soon as you get something on the canvas, it helps you feel better. Cause like blank canvases, they're so freaking intimidating. Guys, what color do I have on my paintbrush? Oh, that's right. That's right. I have like this dark color here. I believe in you, Walty. You can do it. Yeah, but those oil paintings do be taking eons to dry. It's worth it though. Oils are beautiful. If I had like a painting studio, I think I would do oils more, but I don't like the smell in my bedroom. I'm trying to sleep. All right, this is gonna be darker than it should be, but we're just gonna freaking go with it. We're just gonna do it, chat. This might be a bad idea. I kind of want to add some color into it though. I just feel like this area still needs darker. We'll bring the highlights back later. I just want to make sure everything's dark enough, you know? Because like this section's looking good, but it's kind of missing that. So a little red back in here. This section of the rock needs. Did I just ruin it? I don't know. I may have. See, it looks dark enough when it's wet, but then it dries and then suddenly it's too bright again. And I'm too scared to go darker. You know what I'm avoiding, guys? I'm avoiding the ocean. Very much so, but I think that's okay. Let's do some on the trees. I think what I need to do is redefine the tree shapes. So let's grab some white paint and kind of pull the sky color back out. Also, our music stopped. I gotta play more music. Guys, it's already 3:44 here. I've almost been going 2 hours. How's that even possible? I need more time. That's all right. We'll come back tomorrow and work on this too. Might as well, right? We can do that. Do music. All right, let's play the ender again because this track is good. It's gonna get stuck in our head. What I would do is I had a big easel. I put my canvas on, and I would put on a Bob Ross video, and I just zone out and paint. Yo, that sounds like a vibe. That sounds like a really good idea. Yeah, I need to be playing Bob Ross videos while I do this to keep me calm. I feel like I kind of resonate with Bob in like some senses because he'd be like, sometimes he'd do something and he'd be like, now you guys might be wondering like, oh, I think Bob ruined it now or something like that. And he'd be like, you know what, maybe I did ruin the painting, but he just keep going. So I think I gotta channel that. Guys, let's move away from these brushes and let's pull out this brush. I forget what this shape is called. Filbert? Something. It's the oval shaped brush. All right, we need some sky color. So we need some blues. and white. And we need pretty thick paint, so I'm not gonna water this out too much. Because now we're gonna do a little refining on the trees back here. Because they need refining. They need... Oh, we need lighter. That's lighter than I anticipated. We need to find some of these branches. Alright, so we're going to blend this out. I'm not sure I can get much lighter. Because actually we get a fair amount of space actually in between some parts of this tree here. And they're kind of blowing in the wind a little bit. I'm just gonna put a whole lot of space in there. I kind of like this triangle shape we get in here. This could be a mistake. Or the best decision I've made. And then up in here, tree kind of goes like this. Like this. And I don't really know if I want to keep... Well, you know what, we'll do it. Alright, let's blend this. Let's blend this sky out. We need to do a little bit of... fixing here. And a little bit down in here. I think I went a little bit too crazy on this little bush we have. There we go. Alright, that's blended enough. Alright, chat, what am I thinking? I kind of want to do something more with the grass and the rocks in this section. I feel like this is an important space, and while we already have our kind of colors pulled out, let me grab some. Is this the space I was working in? No, it was here. Let's lighten this up a little bit. Let's get some like crazy color in here. We need, oh, I don't know if I'd call it that crazy, but we're getting crazy with the chat. Look how timid I still am. Granted, I think it needs more like a peachy warm colored light, but I think we're just gonna go with the orangey right now and layer the more peachy shades over top. We'll just go with that. I want to live in this painting, honestly. Literally, I could low-key live here. Downsides, though, I have to say, is like Bermuda is in like the middle of nowhere, guys, out in the ocean, and all you have to entertain yourself is what's on the island. And someday I'd like to go to some concerts of some artists I really like. And believe it or not, they do not have any tourist stops on Bermuda. Kind of sad. And so that's kind of my deciding factor. Not to mention that it's literally insanely expensive. I don't know if this will help, but when I use references, I'd always tell myself it was an example of what I wanted to make and not an exact thing I needed to paint, so my perfectionism wouldn't take over. Yo, that's amazing advice. I think that's the advice I needed to hear, chat, because this reference has a lot of details. McSandwich, thank you for that. All right, guys, we got to get our head on straight and take that advice, because we might be going too crazy with the details here. Wow, it's almost like air and sea vessels are famous for going missing there. Yeah, low-key, when we went, we were like, are we gonna return? Are we gonna disappear in the triangle? We weren't really sure. We did get a picture, though, with the Bermuda Triangle. There's like a point on the island that is the exact, I guess, point / center where the point of the triangle is for Bermuda's location. And I was like, yo, that's kind of cool. But I survived. I didn't go missing. You know what, Chad? We need to darken these rocks. Glad you returned. Yo, me too. Me too, chat. Because we wouldn't be able to paint today. You know, I have this kind of like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's not yellow. It's kind of giving brown color that came with these paints. Let's see if these make we can get these to make the shade we're looking for. Oh shoot, I should not have mixed that with that. Actually, if we mix a little of this warm red with it, this actually might be what I need. It's dark, ooh, but not too dark. Let's put a little bit more of that in there, actually. Let's just freaking go to town with it. Where'd you go? Guys, I was almost falling asleep when I started stream, but now I feel like my energy has returned. I feel inspired. I just want to thank you guys for kind of like cheering me on as I do this. I've wanted to paint this scene for a hot minute, but I haven't had the courage to do it. But I feel like I do now. We're actually doing it. I might give this to my brother when I finish it. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gone to Bermuda. Because the only thing I could afford was a plane ticket. There's no way I could have afforded an Airbnb and everything else. But he was generous enough and was like, yo, come along. All covered. Everything else. And I was like, shoot. How do I say no to that? Like, I've always wanted to try traveling out of the country. So that was kind of exciting. So maybe I gift him this painting as a gift. Maybe that's what we do, chat. Some rocks here. New favorite streamer unlocked. Yo, guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mix Sandwich. I don't even know what I'm doing. I feel like my painting is not that good. It looks a little bit like hot trash today, I'm not gonna lie. But if you guys are enjoying it, that literally makes me so happy. Because I like art, guys. I know that might be shocking. But I just want, like, I don't know, I want everyone to experience how fun it is to try and paint and create anything. I mean, you guys know what I mean. You're all creative people too. We're birds of a feather here, you know? You're arting, literally. Just doing the arts here. Doing the best I can. Let's add a little white in here. And a little more yellow. I may have gotten a little too bright here. I want to add a little... We get a little bit brown up here on this hill. You know what we gotta do, guys? This little like bush back here, it needs darker. I think that's what it needs. The vibes are so chill. I guess it comes naturally, or like can't English. It comes naturally for me, maybe. I try to be a calm person most of the time. It's because I get hyper focused. I'm also like a hyper focused kind of person. I feel like if people did art more or any kind, we'd just be happier, literally. I know, because it puts you in such a good mindset. And also, I was talking to my brother about this. My brother that's a musician, the composer. He's like artists are like the chillest, nicest community like ever. And I was like, that is so true. Like, I have never met an artist that wasn't like just super excited to share what they love and then also hear about like what you love to do. Like the art community is just like, I mean, I'm a little bit biased here, guys. I'm a little bit biased, but I feel like the art community is where it's at. We're the GOAT of communities. I'm just saying, like creative people are my favorite kind of people. Like I could just hang out with creative people all day. Granted, I am an introvert, so maybe not all day, but most of the day. And it wouldn't even feel like being an extrovert. You know what I mean? Okay, I kind of want to make... There's like cooler but lighter shadows on the back side of this rock. Oh, that's it. That's what we need. I think the interesting thing about being like introverted is that you find the right people and suddenly you're extroverted. That definitely applies to artists. Fabric groups though, you have to be careful. Yeah, I have less experience in that, so I'm gonna have to take your word for it. All right, that's a little bit better. I feel like we're getting our highlights and shadowed areas a little well. That's not how you say that. Properly. No, that's not the way I went. Our mid-tone areas are now well established. That's how I wanted to word that. They have knitting needles. Yo, that could be dangerous and can get stabby. Yeah, that could get dangerous. I agree. With the right people, an introvert can be an extrovert. It's so true. It's so true. All right, guys. Maybe we darken up that little bush in the background. I think we have the perfect shade of like red-brown right here, actually, from yesterday's stream, so we might as well just use it. We'll just tap that in there. And a little bit in here. And a little bit there. I kind of want to do... Yeah, I think this little tree branch needs to come down lower. I'm gonna mix a little green in with this. I know things are getting a little messy here, but that's just how I roll. That's just how we do things here. Looking at it on my other monitor, I think we should now get back to this dark spot again. Also, we should probably address the water. We probably should, although shoot, it's almost 4. Alright, chat, we have to use our last minutes very wisely. But also, like, probably good not to keep painting if I'm not 100% sure, because, you know, it's good to step away from a piece. Gotta step away sometimes. Alright, I'm gonna mix. I'm thinking, like, I want a brown red shade that we can... I think it needs to be darker than that. I think it needs to be a little bit darker. But it's alright, we'll be back to this tomorrow. We'll be able to work on it some more then. Do some more layering. Try and work out these little nooks and crannies. Okay, guys, I had an idea for like I don't know if it was gonna be a comic or what, maybe like a storyboard or a series. You know how there's like the expression nooks and crannies, like tight corners? I thought, what if it was like imagine it's like a comic and it's about like grannies that are like robbers, but like organized crime robbers, and it's called Crooks and Grannies. That's all I've got. I haven't thought too much about the plot. Take a break if you're not sure what to do. That's what I always do. Good advice. Viele Menschen denken, dass eine Schwäche ist, introvertiert zu sein, aber das stimmt nicht. Ich bin selbst introvertiert und sehe es als Stärke. Wir sind alle gut, so wie wir sind. Yo, that's well said, Gecko. When you are constantly on an art piece, you can only see its flaws, so taking a step back is always helpful. Guys, I think chat is full of a lot of wisdom today. Wisdom that I need to be listening to. So maybe we call it on stream today. Cause y'all are setting me straight and reminding me the important things I need to do so that I can continue loving art and not get burned out. Because we don't want that, chat. So maybe we call it today and then come back. Because we will be back. Da, da, da. Whoa, Germany. Yeah, I can speak some German. I definitely prefer that. I think it's going to be nooks and grannies, and would be about people putting grannies in terrariums and storing them in the nooks. I don't know, that sounds a little dark. Although mine was about robbers, so that's probably not good either. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Gecko, I think you made a good point though. I feel like, but you know, I feel like there's more awareness for like the pros of being an introvert now than there used to be. When I was growing up, it was kind of like extroverts got all the love and attention, and nobody knew that there was anything good about introverts. So it's good to be reminded. Let me flatten this down, guys. I'm just gonna leave this on this till tomorrow, and then we'll be back at it same time, and we will see how far we can go. Probably this stream's gonna go into next week's stream too. I think it'll take probably 3 sessions. Hopefully not 4. We'll see. It's kind of fun doing the details though. I always get caught up on those. I definitely... Oh wait, I read that one already. My bad. See you next time. Yo, I'm a messenger. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing my stream. McSandwich, I'll definitely be back. This was a really nice stream. Thank you, McSandwich. Mustard, thank you for stopping by. Everybody, it's been real. Thanks for the stream. No, guys, thank you. I feel like the PBS Kids show, but like this stream is made possible by viewers like you. So thank you guys. You don't have to thank me, because you guys are like literally, you're using your time to come and chat with me about art and like what I love. So I feel like I owe you guys a thank you. So thank you, everybody. I'm gonna be back tomorrow, same time, and we're gonna work on this Gouache stream. Part 2. All right, everybody. Until tomorrow. Won't be around tomorrow, but we'll be back in the future. Bye. All right, sounds good, Walty. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow. And as always, until next time, keep on creating. Bye, everyone.